Thaydra Perez experienced postpartum depression after her first child was born. When she became pregnant again, this time with twins, her doctors made sure she was put back on antidepressants after the delivery. Unfortunately, that didn't prevent a recurrence.
It was the last day that I was in the hospital, coming home. When I was in the hospital, I didn't feel as joyous as I did with my oldest son. I felt like I was connected to them in some way, but I didn't feel as joyous. I wasn't sleeping at all. I was literally getting probably 2 hours of sleep a night. And then I was trying to, accommodate my 7-year-old. He was home he was 4 at the time. He was, he was home. He was in school a couple days, and wanted to always be with mommy and daddy. And I think that just added on to the depression, because I felt like I had spent 4 years with him, and now I threw them in the mix, and I think I kind of felt like they were like a burden.
This time around, Thaydra's experience with PPD was much worse.
I started crying. I started the crying. It was literally, I cried night and day and night. It was every minute of every hour. I had fears of hurting them. With Steven, I really didn't have a fear of hurting him as much. I kind of just didn't want him around me, and I didn't really feel like I loved him like I should have. With the twins, it was kind of like I felt scared to be around them. My husband would always say, we're going to get ready to give the kids a bath. And I did not want to give them a bath. I thought that I was going to drown them. I didn't want to tell him that, because I thought, like, how could I possibly, say I think I want to drown my kids? But I was actually scared, like, if I was alone, I would never give them a bath, never. I would always wait for him. And even with him, I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna do something, and I'm gonna drown them. And I also thought, like, when they were sleeping, I would check on them and kind of like run away from the room, because I thought I would smother them. Like I said, deep down inside, I really knew I wasn't going to, but I still had that feeling, like that question. Maybe I am, maybe I will.
Her husband and parents noticed right away. Thaydra's therapist increased her medication and had her come in regularly for therapy again. But her family still worried that she might harm the babies or herself.
And I remember them, constantly calling and saying, how are you? And every time they asked me that question, I'd cry and sob like a child, because I didn't know how I was. All I remember saying was, they're going to put me in a mental institution. They're going to put me, and they're going to take away the kids, because I can't take care of myself, and I can't take care of them. And there would be days where they would be crying for a bottle, and I would just sit there. And I knew what I needed to do, but I don't know if I did it because I just didn't want to be around them, or I just felt like I didn't even know how to make a bottle. It was very bad.
Thaydra continued taking her medication and continued therapy. She went to a support group at her mother's urging and gradually started to get better. Her first memories of enjoying her babies came when they were about 5 months old.
I looked at them, and they both smiled at me at the same time. And that's when, I smiled back, and I said to them, Mommy's getting better, and I'm gonna, be able to take care of you.
Thaydra hopes more women will learn about postpartum depression and be made aware of the options available for help if they become depressed.
With the support groups, I think that they should definitely go to a support group. It helped me just, number one, getting out of the house. Before, I just wanted to stay in the house. I didn't want to interact with anybody. And it helped me to be with women who are going through the same thing. And I think that they definitely need to do that. They need to get out, number one, just for your own sanity, and also to get knowledge about this and know. And once they start seeing that, hey, there's other women who are going through this, that's the first step in recovery.